The next person who we're going to have come up and share is Alan Haffa.
Thank you, Gertrude and Miriam, for organizing this, and I'm honored to be invited. I'm going to be brief because many of the things I wanted to say have been said, and the hour's getting late, but I wanted to highlight three things. First of all, I want to highlight the importance of Black Lives Matter as a Democrat. I am a Democrat. I am the leader of Monterey County's Democratic Party, and I believe that it is important that we as a party embrace this movement. And we haven't always done that. We haven't done it as well as we should have. I think sometimes Democrats are not always comfortable recognizing the underlying issues that are embedded in the word Black Lives Matter. And sometimes politicians are uncomfortable saying Black Lives Matter. But we need to do that. We need to do that because of what Stephen pointed out at the beginning about the wisdom that is embodied in that idea, and the fact that when Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, that if we want justice, that we need to make sure that Black Lives Matter, that if we want equality, Black Lives Matter. And so we as a Democratic Party need to make sure that this principle stays front and center in our party going forward. That's one thing that I want to convey to you as the chair of the Monterey County Democratic Party. I'm committed to doing that. Secondly, I want to talk about Black Lives Matter in Monterey County and in the city that I am a representative for, a council member for, the city of Monterey. So Black Lives Matter in Monterey County because we have a county jail that is overflowing with people who do not need to be there, who should not be there, who are there unjustly. Many of them are there because they cannot afford bail. It's not that they have been convicted of a crime yet. They simply cannot afford bail. That's wrong. And we know that disproportionately the people who are in our overcrowded jails are Black men, people of color, and this is wrong. So Black Lives Matter because we have a criminal justice system that is making a profit by putting Black people in jail. Secondly, we have a problem because, as Alexandra pointed out, we have police forces here in our county and across the country that do not treat Black people like their lives have value. And that's wrong. I wanted to share with you some things that we're trying to do because I care, along with Regina Mason, I care about finding solutions. And I think that there are some solutions if we work together. We've begun to apply some of these in the city of Monterey recently. One, training. Alexandra talked about the way the police officers in this area at Marina, or at CSUMB, did not use a de-escalation technique, but they use an escalation technique. You know, instead of approaching people and trying to calm the situation down, they came in and used violence as a first resort. So we really need to address police policy and training. We need to make sure that our police officers are trained first to de-escalate, if at all possible. Police training. Secondly, with police training, we need to look at training police officers in cultural sensitivity and awareness, so that all too often police officers see a Black or brown person and they're afraid. And that's partly because of the racism that exists in our society. So we need to teach ourselves, but we also need our police officers to confront this racism so that they don't see a criminal, but they see someone with a mental illness crisis, so that they see their brother, their sister, their father, and so that they're there to protect, which is what they are sworn to do. So police training in cultural awareness and in methods of engagement are something that we need to address. We've begun in Monterey with the second of those. Our police officers have gone through a cultural awareness training program, and that is now mandatory. Second of all, we need to look at the makeup of our police forces. So I think most of you are familiar with what happened in Ferguson, Missouri. And Ferguson, Missouri is a city that is predominantly African American, yet the vast majority of folks in the police force, in city government, and on their city council are white. That creates a situation where black lives do not matter, where police do not treat black people in the way that they should. So I think we need to encourage young people of color to consider serving as police officers. We need to encourage African Americans and Latinos to look at police work as important work, because it is. It's very important work. And when you have enough people of color in a police force, it will change the way that police force treats its community. So we've begun to work on that as well in the city of Monterey. We still have work to do, but that's something that I am committed to. So training, staffing, and then the third thing is body cams. So we have mandated that our police officers wear body cams. We're still in the process of sorting out what the policy will be for those body cams, but I believe that helps. There are many studies that show that when officers wear body cams, the way they interact is very different. So I'm just going to end with that. I think that we need to continue this momentum. We need to continue to build this diverse community, and we need to continue to say Black Lives Matter. Thank you.